All right. Well, it looks like we have made it to episode 5, the last episode. This is there's that famous Utopia song, Back on the Street Again. The countdown is on. So
I know.
oh my goodness.
Oh, dang it. I'll have to decline Mary Lou's call. Oh, no, I'll accept it. Hold on.
All right.
I am on a podcast with Tom Jennings. Can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay. Pardon? Okay, I love you. Bye.
Who was it? You said that was Mary Lou?
That was Mary Lou, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming, so that'll be great.
I know. I miss her. I obviously I think about her a lot. We got the last one before the big event. So I guess the first question. Well, now people can't see this because this is an audio podcast, but I must say you look very relaxed, very refreshed, and you seem
good.
So I don't know. I mean, you must be feeling good on some level about how things are going, huh?
I'm like a deer in the headlights. Good on some things and just terrified on other things. This one's big. It's going to be almost 500 people, and
oh wow,
it's a lot. The sound equipment for everybody and the food. Those are the big, huge hurdles. Getting 500 people fed is a Herculean task.
I can only imagine.
I have 2 really amazing chefs, though. I don't know if we said this on the last podcast. I'm trying to get lots of volunteers, but one of my business partners in my event producing company, brand new, is a really good chef, and he brought along his friend who just retired from the Sheraton Poipu. And if anybody's been to Tide Pools or Rimfire, they're the 2 best restaurants on the island.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're amazing. Really amazing. It's really expensive and really amazing. So we're gonna have some good food.
So, well, one of the questions, and I'm getting into the questions, I guess, earlier than usual, but was about, is this, or dinner's going to be buffet style, or are they going to be, I assume they would have to be for 500 people.
Yeah, with 500, it has to be buffet style. Yeah. So, and we'll have signups for people that want to help serve. I think we talked about this before. We don't want 500 people touching the serving spoon. Right. So we're going to volunteer just to plop it on your plate.
Plop it on the plate, please. Excuse me, sir. May I have some more?
Have another plop.
Well, fantastic. Before we get too into a bunch of questions, I always have a couple things that I want to ask you about from your past life or your current life, however you want to put it. And one of those questions relates to, I've always wanted to ask this too, the whole Nearly Human sessions that you got together, and I always wondered. I mean, you got together a really interesting and eclectic bunch of musicians. Was there anybody that got away? Was there anybody that was either close or maybe you really had on the list and said, oh man, we really want them here, but they didn't quite make it?
No, I think I should ask Todd if there was. I don't remember that, but no, when he said, call Narda Michael Walden, I said, okay. But Bay Area, once you're a musician in the Bay Area and you see each other all the time on stage and off stage, so it's pretty easy to get somebody's number and just call them up directly and say, hey, I need you to sing on my record, or can you direct the orchestra? So yeah, and then yeah.
And that was all pre-internet too. So I mean, there had to be a little bit of kind of creative legwork. I mean, there must have been like a Rolodex involved or something along those lines.
No, it's just my address book. Just, I knew who knew everybody. And, oh my gosh, my brain help me out here, Tom. My brain, sax player, Bruce Springsteen.
Clarence Clemens.
Clarence Clemens. I called Clarence. And he came over and sang too on the I Love My Life sessions. We got a great picture that Jean Lannon took of everybody in the studio. She had to take several photos, move to the right a little, take a photo, move to the right. And in fact, when people come to the open house, I'll point that out, that picture that Jean took of all of us in the studio. I think people have seen it, but it's pretty cool seeing the session. And there's Clarence right in the middle, or maybe he's on the end. It's far away on the end of the room, and I don't have my glasses.
Was he living in the Bay Area at the time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I guess we all just associate Clarence Clemens, of course, with New Jersey because of the
Right.
Springsteen. But I mean, as you know, people move all over the country now. I mean, you get bands together that don't ever live in the same zip code anymore. It's fascinating.
I think I had Neil Sean there for a session. Yeah, it was fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of work. I think the only time I was pissed off is when I did the surprise when I brought Utopia in, and like with Ed Vigdor's filming this whole thing, and Todd doesn't acknowledge me or thank me. It doesn't even look in my direction. He's it's selfish on my part. He's in the moment. He's so excited and so surprised. But I was like, I wanted something out of that.
Well, Todd, if you're listening out there, you got an anniversary coming up. This would be a good time to give a nice big thank you card to Michele for pulling that one off. And indirectly you saved the other Utopia tour because it was your son that found Gil. So there you go. Twice you've come up with some great ways since Utopia.
The power of the familia.
Oh my goodness! And then I'll throw one more at you. Rick Springfield, he tells this tale of showing up at your house. The whole thing is
that is true. Yes. So I don't know. Do you want to tell me the way you heard it, or do you want me to tell you the way?
I've heard it a couple of times on stage. I've interviewed him a couple of times. I've never asked him about it. For some reason, we always get sidetracked on something else. But he says that he went over to the house to write a song with Todd, and then he got high, and he was sitting on the couch, and he felt something licking him somewhere, and it was the dog, I believe, is what he said.
Well, it's even better than that. So Bean and her girlfriend lived in the same house as me and Todd. There's two houses connected. So Bean was there too. And Bean was sitting next to him on the couch, or I can't remember. And he starts feeling what he thought was his hand or somebody's hand on his ass. And he's kind of panicking, like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Todd's ex has got her hand on my ass, or it's me. I can't remember which one, but, and then as told to me by other fans, he discovered it was Pixel, our dachshund. Had gotten all the way behind him and was just like.
And my understanding is it's not too late for him to file a sexual harassment suit against Pixel. So we got to be careful what we admit on air here, folks. So, oh my God, that is funny. Yeah, he does this whole bit and he puts the picture of a Wizard of True Star, and the premise of the story is that Rick didn't smoke a lot of pot, so he just got so high that it was just a weird situation for him. But yeah, he is such a nice
guy. He is really, I mean, if people don't know, people probably know this by now, but super, super, like, he was raised right. That boy was raised right, and he's very, very kind.
I'll tell you, his last 2 or 3 records have been really, really solid too. And what took me by surprise, because I forgot when I interviewed him, he's got such a thick Australian accent, and you don't pick that up because he's kind of covered it up through the General Hospital years, and you certainly don't hear it during. Yeah, so interesting. Well, there we go. We have confirmation, folks. Rick Springfield's story.
He was fondled on a couch at the Rundgren house, yes.
But to be clear, it was Pixel the dog.
Pixel.
So
yeah.
All right, great. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, let's just get right into some of the rest of the questions. We already asked about the buffet. So
sorry.
We
my God.
know
Sorry.
That one.
Sorry, Tom.
Oh, no worries.
Hi, it's Michele. On your way? Hey, Chemo. You can record this, Tom.
Okay.
Okay, we got it all uncovered. Thanks. Bye. So we had to do a preemptive, pump out the septic system to get ready for Toddstock.
For what? For your house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I wanted to, because there'll be a lot of people here that first night for registration and open house and stuff. So yeah, that was the septic guy saying he's on his way to pump out our septic. It's just that's the life of a rock star.
Yeah, there's oh man, that's got to be the worst job ever. I'm not gonna
I
lie,
know.
boy.
That's why it's a fortune. It's like $600 every time they do it.
Yeah, they're different. I had a Roto-Rooter guy here, I don't know, 2 months ago because our basement backed up and, they had all the excrement and everything in the basement. And the guy that just shows up, he's just the cheeriest guy. So I guess you got to have.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm just going to get the shit out of your basement here, buddy. How you doing? I'm glad I'm not you. And then, of course, when I paid him, I knew why he was so happy. It's like, oh, yeah, this is expensive.
Yeah.
So that was a very expensive package of wipes that my granddaughter had started flushing down the toilet. So,
oops.
Public service announcement, folks: no flushing wipes at the Rundgren residence. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So I had a question about Thursday. I guess the schedule is out, and they said there were some overlapping things happening Thursday during the happy hour and everything like that. I should
probably, but with 500 people, it's impossible to fit it all in without overlapping.
Okay. So if something's overlapping, it's just because it's overlapping.
Yeah. Just because there's no way to get everybody to be able to do everything.
All right. Travel time from the venue to Princeville.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Just like every time I order Chinese food, always 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No matter what. We need 500 chicken lo meins. 15 minutes. Let's see. Well, the days. I'm trying to reread these again as my vision is getting. I just got new glasses as well, so picked a great day for this to read stuff off a computer. So rescheduling. Wow, some of these questions are very long. I'm going to try to read this, and you and I will try to interpret it together. Will the daily schedule be posted prior to our arrival or on site? Starting to read about daytime offerings and workshops that might conflict. I think we just talked about that with prearranged offsite activities.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Sorry about that, but
okay. It's kind of like when you go to a convention. You got to pick and choose, right?
Right, and it's a lot of people can't afford to do the activities. So, because the activities around Kauai are expensive. So we made sure that there was something happening on site all the time. And a lot of the activities, too, will let you switch days if you call them and ask them.
Okay.
They don't do refunds, but...
Yeah, well, it's a tough economy especially service economy, trying to recoup the last few years of people not being able to travel and everything. So if we bring our own lawn chairs, can we leave them there or do we have to schlep them back and forth every day?
No, we'll actually, do a YWCA and the Boys Club. So they will go to a really good cause.
Okay.
You could probably even do a tax deduction for your lawn chair.
Well, I think this sounds like this is a day-to-day thing. Like if they bring the lawn chairs on Monday.
Oh no, they can leave them there.
Okay. Yeah. That's the way I'm reading it.
That common ground is you cannot access common ground without going through 2 access areas, and both of those are locked gates that when we come, we'll have to show our passes.
Okay,
and
good.
we also have a wristband because we need 2 authentications in case some clever person on the island decides to make laminates, so or fake laminates. So we thought we need two types of authentication, and the guard at the gate, you'll have to show those to get through.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I know there was talk before about gate crashers or something like that. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be here in New York at the time, just wishing I was there with you. But
and the reason we're making sure that we don't have gate crashers, and we won't be lenient like, oh, you're here, just stay. No, because every fan that is coming paid money, a lot of money, to help us build our little town for that week and pay for the food and pay, so it's no tolerance. Light of the world, shine on us, but only if you've paid.
Well, love involves a little bit of structure and discipline. Let's be honest. You can be loving and still turn people away.
I like that. Love and also a little bit of structure and yeah,
Yeah,
discipline.
that's see, and my tattoo right here is love is the answer, as a matter of fact. Right there. See?
Ah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So I'm always reminded of that. As a teacher, we have to have some discipline, but we have to do it with love. So yes. Um let's see what we got next. Oh, this is from Mary Joan Lauer. Thanks so much for doing these podcasts. They're informative and entertaining.
Thanks, Mary Jo.
Oh, thank that. And then they asked if they receive a swag bag at registration.
No, we thought we just didn't want to add more money because it was so expensive to do what we're doing. So we don't have bags. Sorry. I do have like probably 30 shopping bags here and there if somebody needs to borrow one. You know how you go like, oh, I forgot my bag at Foodland. Now I got to buy this $3 one.
Yeah, yeah. I have I can't even tell you how many. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the environment by having to buy so many of the reusable bags because I say, oh, I better get the reusable ones, and then I always forget them.
Oh, Tom, this is actually a good thing to tell people that, if you don't come with the bag, Foodland does have really funny bags and they're so Hawaii. It might be, like ahi poke bowl on the side of it or saimin on the side of it or something. They're really cute. So, and they're not too expensive.
Yeah, that's good. And again, I live near Buffalo, so anything that says Buffalo Bills on it, I get. My son likes Star Wars stuff, so it'd be a nice little memento to bring home, or another shopping bag that you could leave at home when you go grocery shopping and forget to put in your car. So,
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody was asking if you were going to be doing a dance class.
I don't think so. Because not only because I'll be so damn busy, but the ground it's a field out there, and the only other flat places are cement, and my ankles are just so bad. They're, that it comes from a life of having a lot of fun and I feel like dance is an athletic thing, and so being an athlete at 66, I'm not able to give a dance class on a field.
Well, let me say this as a side note, because I did get to sneak out to Chicago to catch one of the Clearly Human shows, and I don't think I've shared this with you before. I mean, I brought you guys bagels, so hopefully you liked them. But
they were great.
So the choreography, the three of you were so incredible, and as much as it was interesting to see it on video, live, I felt entranced. Not only were the vocals phenomenal, but there was a certain, and I think I caught maybe the second or third to last. So you guys were probably really in a zone at that point, but oh my God, I was blown away. And I'd seen the first Nearly Human tour, which was really good, but I thought that that Clearly Human group was, I hopefully it's not sacrilege, folks. I thought they were much better than the first, and that first group was on Letterman too. So,
yeah, but I had so much fun, and the girls were also really good dancers, so I could give them anything and they could pull it off. And one thing that you probably saw, and you could see when you watched it, but I don't know if people really realize that they are on the edge of a 6-foot fall.
Oh yeah,
like yeah, and I took the middle because I said, girls, I'm old. I need you to keep me on the stage here. So you're young, you are nimble enough to jump away from the edge.
Oh man, it was such a highlight of the show. And the vocals were just, the three of you had such, it was the very distinct vocal styles, but they blended so well together. I know this is material I've heard, for most of my life, so it's not like you don't pick up on that stuff. It's not like you're hearing it for the first time. So great stuff. So there's a few people asked about a possible like Toddstock 6.0 gathering, like almost like a reunion offshoot type thing. I don't know if they're saying they want to do something formally, or maybe that's just something that they can sort of put together when they get there. I mean, I don't know, or is it even on the schedule?
This might sound, I hardly ever say no to anything, But this might sound weird, and I just feel like I don't want to do anything that doesn't include everyone. So does that make sense? Like that would
yeah,
feel.
it makes sense to me. It's weird because I could see it both ways. Now, I wasn't at Toddstock 6.0, so I don't maybe necessarily have that same sense of camaraderie. But I agree with you. I think that it's hard to, the balancing act that you have to have is, like you said, it's an exclusive group and you're not necessarily trying to exclude somebody, but by nature, by just doing the 6.0s, you are kind of excluding people.
And those were 175 people at 6.0.
Yeah.
And I just feel like inclusive should be our theme.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's I think it's, and again, it's something that I suppose people could do organically. Maybe if there was if you hung out with, 150 people, even though that's a small amount, let's face it, there's 30 or 40 that you really hung with. So you can always have your hotel gatherings or stuff like that after
Well, there is a way to gather, and we might as well say it here. So after we have to shut down, and be off the property like at 10. Tiki and Niki, my tiki bar, is really small. So we're going to open it. I mean, we're open anyway, but we're going to make it a private night every night that we're here. Not Saturday night, but starting on Tuesday. Tiki is closed on Sunday and Monday. Starting on Tuesday, every night we'll let 50 people go in to hang out and socialize together. And if they want, one person can gather 50 people and make a reservation for 50 people, as long as we have all those names at the door and let only those 50 people in. Then the next night, 50 more people. The next night, 50 more people. And the band, I told the band that since some people are staying in Princeville, so I said, hey, it would be great if you could stop by Tiki and Niki any of the nights that you're going home. And unfortunately, that won't be paid for, but the cocktails, and the kitchen will be closed, but it's a perfect place to socialize and see Tiki and Niki, which was filled with memorabilia and fun stuff. And Tom, you'll have to ask somebody to take a good picture of the Star Wars Tiki mugs.
Oh, nice. Yeah. My son Trevor's a huge Star Wars fan, so he would love to see that. Awesome.
I'll give you the number here so that people can start calling. First, call your friends and figure out, like, let's say CLB is gonna want to have 25 people with her to go to Tiki and Niki. CLB can call Tiki and Niki at 808-431-4242. And she can put a reservation for 25 people under her name. But then she's got to give us those 25 names so that at the door, we only let those 25 in. And then, Tom can get, a reservation for 4, and Cindy can get a reservation for 15. And
right.
But gather those names and give them to us. So again, 808-431-4242. And after Toddstock shuts down at Common Ground, 50 people that have reservations can go to Tiki and Niki from 10 to midnight.
Yeah, and I would say, like somebody like CLB or any of these organizers too, you probably, once you have your full list, create a waiting list, because there's going to be 1 or 2 people that will drop off, and at least you'll be able to have those names right away to add them on later. Because that always happens. It'd be a shame if somebody made a reservation for 25 and then, 5 people didn't show up, which isn't unusual. But then you'd squeeze out 5 people that maybe wanted to go. So if you're going to organize a list, just waiting list. And remember, it's a capacity of 50 for the whole night. So, but I'm sure that stuff works out.
I left room for, band members and stuff like that.
Cool. All right. Well, just making me more jealous by the minute. Let's see. This was a very practical question, and I think a good one. I love practical questions. Is there a place to charge phones?
I knew I had forgotten something. Yes, there are outlets, and but I will try to beef that up. Yeah, there definitely will be places to charge phones.
Yeah, that's a big anxiety issue too. And I know I've had phones over the years that the battery just, for some reason, just doesn't hold a charge, and it's like, obviously you want to make sure that you're able to get a hold of family members or they can get a hold of you.
I'll try to put it over by, I don't even know if there's a plug over there, but I'll try to put it by where the map is. Somebody's making a big map and stickers or something instead of pins, so that we can all put a sticker of where we're all from. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So well, maybe if there's an outlet there, I'll try to get a whole bunch of stuff and we'll try to start a fire with phones. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Oh, Toddstock ends with huge phone fire on Monday night. No, we don't want to hear that headline. That would be horrible. Yeah, speaking of fires, we just got hit with this wildfire smoke over in New York. So if I sound a little breathy, it's because it's been, I mean, I felt like I was, yeah, it was kind of
Todd
a crazy few days.
He sent me a picture out his hotel window. He goes, "Hey, I'm in New York City." And it was just orange. You could barely see the outlines of the buildings. Like I said, "Oh my God, don't breathe."
Yeah, it's just smelled like a really horrible campfire. Like somebody just got the wrong wood. And yeah, it was kicking around for about 3 or 4 days, but yeah, it's got me a little rattly in the lungs in case, well, I guess now I could do a Bob Dylan tribute record if I had the time. Somebody asked, is the beach accessible from the venue? Well, I could say no. Common grounds now because we've decided that we know that it's secure. So, is there a place to change into a swimsuit?
Yes.
Okay.
There is. And we do have a kind of like a little, not a little pool. It's like, I don't know, 25 feet long and 12 feet wide or something, but it's only like 3 feet deep. But if it's too hot, then at least you can just like get a little dip in there.
A little dip.
I'll probably need some help putting that together with some guys and girls.
Somebody asked if there will be a tattoo artist on site.
No, there was one at our wedding, but I think she's booked for months and months ahead. But Billy is a really great tattoo artist. That we have some good tattoo artists, but no, there won't be a tattoo artist there. Sorry.
All right, let's see.
Wish I'd thought of that a long time ago.
Yeah,
I don't have any tattoos.
It's a catch-22, I mean, especially if you got. I mean, the great thing about tattoos now is that they're so controlled, they're so hygienic, and all these artists they're just really great at their craft. And I think sometimes it gets a little tougher for them, especially if they're doing the chain gang type stuff. It's
chain gang.
Oh, they do. They used to have these before. I remember they used to have tattoo parties. Like some guy would just show up at a house and do 40 tattoos in 3 hours. But I don't know. certain things I don't really trust. That would be milk that's left out too long. Tattoo artists that don't do tattoo out of a shop. So I don't know. That's just me. And we've determined you don't have any tattoos, right?
No, I don't.
Never had a desire, huh?
I'm so afraid of needles.
All right. So let's see. Will there be additional Toddstock 75 t-shirts available for purchase on site?
I think so. I think that he sent extra ones. We'll see. I know they're only men's though. Oh, sorry, only unisex t-shirts. We only made unisex t-shirts. Sorry about that. It was just the cost was just unbelievable. So
yeah, they're not cheap to do anymore. Is there a place? No, you already said that. No, somebody asked for a place to change at Common Grounds. I don't know if that was okay.
Any bathrooms? Mm-hmm.
Here's one from my buddy Don Slovin. He was my roommate. I'm trying to think, was at the David Bowie thing that we did, and the one that you missed in Akron. And he was such a good guy. I don't know if you know Don. I'm sure you recognize the name, but
I know Don.
Yeah,
I know Don. Absolutely. He's doing something. I think Don's doing a little class here.
Yeah, maybe some kind of drum circle thing. He's, it's funny. He was one of those guys that this is a class. I hate to get off on the bunny trail, but
jam prov.
Don was Don was one of those guys that I'd seen a bunch of times at a bunch of different shows, and then we finally got to share a hotel room together and really hit it off, you know. And I think that's what's nice is that, you know, I found even when I married my wife, I remember my people telling me that, you know, it's good to marry somebody that has different interests than you because it expands your horizons, you know. And I think in some ways too, when you get to these fan gatherings, it's always nice to find a new fan that you can become friends with. So look at that, Don. See, I remembered what a great time that we had. So he's a good guy. But he asked if there was any tips for the long plane rides.
Yes. Get an aisle seat, drink a lot of water. But I think we put this on one of the surveys that please don't go swimming the day you fly. That's so many of our drownings happen on when people go snorkeling. You can swim. Sorry, don't go snorkeling. Swimming's fine. No snorkeling the day you fly. It just has to do with oxygen levels in your bloodstream or something like that. Isn't that weird? But most of the accidents that happen on Kauai are people that just went right into the water with their snorkel and weren't quite ready. I would also recommend that you just Google, you know, Kauai lifeguard beaches and swim where there's a lifeguard. Honolulu Bay has a bunch, and it's the most beautiful place to swim. It's just amazing. So just be safe and swim where lifeguard places are. And Nini is pretty safe, but not at the end of the road. And Nini is safe to swim at the boat ramp. And that's where you can see sometimes turtles, lots of fish, seahorses at the bottom, if you're patient.
Wow. Yeah, so, I know Jerry Garcia, I guess, was a huge scuba diver before he passed away. He used to love doing scuba diving, but yeah, I never thought about the oxygen level thing. I mean, and I guess that goes back to being careful in terms of your alcohol consumption, even on the plane, especially if you're going to be coming from well, the dogs have made their appearance, but especially if you're coming from the East Coast. I mean, you could have people on a plane for like 11, 12 hours.
Yeah. It's especially if you're East Coast flying all the way to Hawaii. I don't know if it's not halfway around the world, but
well, it's got to be a long time though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So be smart, be hydrated. Don, bring something for your back or something, or the little neck pillow, I suppose.
Yeah, and get up and stretch, you know, every couple hours, and bring a snack.
So it says, we were talking about sunblock and bug spray was I think this is one of the last questions that we have, and then there was also a question about ukuleles. What was the status of getting those things? So we got 3 things: sunblock, which I think we said had to be reef safe. Same with bug spray too. Is that correct? Or you were talking about Skin So Soft for that, and then finally the ukuleles. Yeah. And I'll be quiet.
Okay. Well, there's no such thing as a ukulele.
Ukulele.
Hey, Tom.
Oh man. I just walked right into that one. I did.
It's so hard to you know, because growing up I called them ukuleles too, until I got here and got corrected 1,000 times. Like, oh, okay, I gotta get this right. So the ukulele shop is there. They have been on a long vacation in Europe, but in very distant places. They should be home this week, and I will send out an email to everybody about what their prices are, because I have no idea. And I want to get some prices like the cheapest one they have, and then kind of a nice medium price for something a little more exotic. So we do have ukulele lessons almost every day, I think, but I'm still not sure about those ooks, and I'm going to ask him to just hold on to some of them for people that want. If you want to call ahead and leave a message that you'd like a really inexpensive one, or what your budget is, then let's just leave messages for them so they know that you want one. Tell them you're part of Toddstock, and it's called Hanalei Strings is the name of that ook shop. There's an ukulele shop in Kapa'a, but I believe it's more expensive than Hanalei Strings. I don't know for sure, but there's also one across this can't remember what it's called. I'll look. There's another music store across the street from Walmart in Lihue. That's where you're going to land. But and they have ukuleles as well. So that's good. And Walmart and Costco are so close to the airport. Walmart is literally, as you drive out the airport, you just go straight, and Walmart's at the next light. Costco, hit the edge of the airport there, turn left, and it's about 3 miles from the airport. So those two are available to get stuff. They might even have ukuleles at Costco.
Yeah. It's weird. I can't picture a Walmart in Hawaii, but I guess they're everywhere now.
Yeah. Oh no, it was there before Costco, and it was kind of the only place you could get everything.
Yeah.
There's a Target, but they don't have a lot of stuff in it.
And then sunblock, and I think we said the Skin So Soft bug spray. Any luck on securing that stuff? Or
I do have, but it looks like we might have to share one bottle of sunscreen per person. I mean, per couple, and one bottle of. Or we thought maybe we just also put them on tables, at Toddstock, so that we could common ground, so we can just spray whenever we need to. But yep, I got as many as I could.
Well, if there's anyone out there then that maybe can have a little space in their luggage, bring an extra one or two, you can put it on a common table. How's that sound for a potential idea?
That's great. But please, for sunscreen, make sure it says reef safe.
Yes. And again, that bug spray, if you have not used Skin So Soft, it will be a game changer. It really works so well.
It does.
All right. So that's all of our questions. So now we're just going to have to leave it to you to just strap in and where are you at right now emotionally? How are you sleeping?
I wake up like 5 times a night and scribble on my tablet that's next to the bed, and like, oh, I got things there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the person who's helping me do all of the charts and registrations and all that is, I know I was supposed to say some things on this podcast, and I can't remember what I was supposed to say. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I think, probably about the Tiki Niki. The number again is 808. And that would be to make a reservation for after hours, 10 to midnight, Tuesday through Saturday, the 24th, after Toddstock. And let's see, I guess that's it. Oh yeah, and you got to have your laminate and your wristband to get into Tiki Niki too. But you have to be on that list for that night, because we can only take 50. Awesome.
Well, I've got some good friends going there. My friend Susie, who just visited me very recently, and one of my very first Todd friends, I should say. She loaded me up with a bunch of Todd music when I was just a little ute, and I'm glad she's going to be able to be there for both of us. I really feel like I told her, I gave her the hug that I'm sending to you. So when she gives you that hug, that's my personal hug. You're only one person removed, so I'm very excited for that. But first of all, to the listeners, I've said this before, but some of the messages have just been so uplifting. I guess, we live in a world where some days are difficult because there's a lot of negativity and a lot of craziness going on, and people tend to gravitate towards that. But at the end of the day, there's just a lot of beautiful people out there, and every one of you that gave me a word of encouragement for this, thanks, man. It was great. Phone calls, the whole 9 yards. It made me feel really nice.
Tom. I really appreciate it too. I forgot to say that the last few days of Toddstock, there'll be the documentary film crew will be there. So I'm excited about that everybody's going to be able to participate in that.
Well, you know how they had the guy used to hold up those John 3:16 signs in the back of the bat? Somebody hold up a Thom Jennings sign, would you, please?
And we're going to do a group photo too. I believe that's the night of, let's see, let me look at the schedule here, but I believe that's on Todd's birthday after, I can't look fast enough. So, oh, well, we'll do it. Anyway, Jim Snyder's going to take the group photo. We'll do one without him, and then he's going to jump in and get him on timer and get himself in one of them finally.
And Jim was one of those people that reached out to me. I've had a couple conversations with him, and Jim, what a great soul that guy is. Oh, that reminded me because somebody asked me if there was going to be some non-sugary drink options. So maybe that will be the final Toddstock question per se.
We do have just a water tower, and then I also have juice, which some people say is too sugary, but it's fresh organic squeezed juice from Honolulu that Tiki and Iki has flown in twice a week. So we're going to have a lot of that.
Cool. All right. Well, I do want to say thank you so much. I really hope we could do something post Toddstock because I just love these conversations. I feel like we've got a lot more to talk about.
At the end of the podcast, you want to just say hi and we'll see you later?
Oh, hi. We're having trouble with our septic tank.
Okay, that was your fearless leader. He was going to say hi, but yeah, the septic tank's acting up.
Well, we got that. It's like so you used to do stand-up comedy. So you always have that callback, right? So at the beginning we were talking about the septic tank, so now we just called right back to it at the end.
When the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, Sunset Boulevard.
Mom. I gotta go help with the shitter.
Okay, fantastic. Michele, thank you so much. We'll be talking after Toddstock for sure, just at least to do one kind of post wrap up and everything. And I hope you deal with all that shit today, and then you don't have any shit to deal with next week. How's that?
That sounds good to me. All right, aloha everybody. We'll see you in a few days.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, very good. Well, good luck. As I said, I'll touch base with you after, and we'll maybe do something a couple weeks after when you can catch your breath and just do a post thing. So I won't keep you. Have a good one. And happy anniversary in advance. Wish Todd a happy birthday for me.
Thank you. I will. Aloha, Tom.
Aloha.
Aloha, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.